Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, bringing you a game of domination on Summit. So, last night I was rolling with my Game Battles team. My Game Battles team is Dunkus, Bandro, Onslaught, T-Mart, me, and then a guy you probably don't know named Undisputed. They're all really good players. They're probably all better than me. But every now and then I get my games too. So, on Summit, my favorite spot to be is behind me here on to guard Bravo. I'll show you in a minute. But this is one of those games that kind of played out nearly like a Modern Warfare 2 game always did for me. I've been reading about what makes a good player in listening to other commentaries and things like that. And a lot of guys are like, oh, this game is great because it rewards gun skill. And I agree with that. That's guys who... Not to say that gun skill is all they use, but guys who have a lot of success based on their gun skill are doing really well in this game. Like Xjaws is doing really well. I know Sandy Ravage is doing really well. White Boy's been getting some big videos. Those guys who seem to move a lot and use their gun skill are just doing great. Guys like me, it seemed like the bulk of my game in Modern Warfare 2 was about tactics and knowledge. It was about knowing where their spawn is, knowing where all the spawns are on every map, and knowing the map routes that they're likely to run on the map, and just making sure that every engagement happens on my terms. That doesn't work quite as well in Black Ops. In Black Ops, if you were to put it in Modern Warfare 2 terms, they spawn behind you with Ninja and Commando. And when that happens, like a guy like me, it doesn't work quite as well. All of a sudden, poof, the guy's there on the other side of the map, and they have Ninja and Commando because you can't hear their footsteps, and the knife is really powerful in this game. So I just dropped the Napalm Strike. The Napalm Strike in this game is a lot longer than the little graphic indicates. So it's not such a bad thing, unless you're trying to not kill yourself, to drop it on one edge of the map, because you might be surprised just how far it travels along the way. It's a whole lot longer than that little thing. So these two guys are taking A, but I was fortunate to clean them up and steal their weapon. So I have this, they call it a Cobra in the announcement. I think it's called an attack helicopter as the kill streak. If you guys have figured out the best place to put this, then share that with me. Look at this. I don't know what got me, really. I think it was a cooked grenade, but it sure did get me good. The thing with the attack helicopters, you place where it lands, all right, and that's all fine and well. But I haven't figured out how to place it for maximum effect. My temptation is to use it just like I would a bomb strike and drop it on top of the bad guys, but I'm not sure that's best. Sometimes with Harriers, people would drop them off the map so that they had this nice clear view on the side, like with high rise. Sometimes the smart thing to do was to have it on the side, because the Harrier-only kill ball was pointing at you. Drop it on the side, and it could sit there and point at people really easily, as opposed to right on top of the people. Then it slowly turns and spins and whatever. So you get more out of the strike if you drop it on top of them, but you get more out of the subsequent firing in the Harrier if you dropped it off the map entirely. That right there was my favorite spot to watch Bravo. I feel like I can hold up here for a while, get 3 or 4 kills before I have to move on, and I just have this advantage over everyone who comes my way. I've got cover from the right and surprise from the front, and I can even retreat to the left or the right. Whoa, at least some of those bullets hit. So using the Silence Galil here again, and I like this weapon a lot. I was looking at my my KDs on the different weapons, and while in my memory this is one that I seem to do really well with, the stats tell me that with the AK-47 my KD is 4.35, which that's higher than it is with the Galil. I think the Galil, statistics-wise, is probably my second best gun. So I wonder, what maybe once I get the AK again, we'll start doing that. Another thing that happened is, you see, I'm rolling with my Game Battles team. I mentioned that early on. We played our first Game Battles match, and it's a bit of a problem. We had this in Modern Warfare 2, that as people level up, they don't have the stuff that they need. In Modern Warfare, you were about halfway through the leveling up before you got Ninja, and Ninja's really important in Game Battles in Modern Warfare 2. In this game, Ninja's not such a big deal because they broke the audio. But we did need good guns, we did need the attachments that you want, and things like that. So we were kind of playing without the setups that we were looking for. and but we won anyway, so that was pretty cool. Watch this napalm strike. This might be the best not saying it's the best it's ever been, but I don't know that I've seen a better one on YouTube yet. It gets a whole lot of kills. So anyway, we played our game battles match and we won. And one thing that kind of bummed me out, and this can sometimes happen a lot in the game battles culture, is at the second game, it was capture the flag. We were up 1-0, and I forget the map. It was one of the big snowy ones, and I think it was WMD. Anyway, we were up 1-0. No one had anyone's flag. It was the second round. The game was over, and it was to the point where even if they had grabbed our flag, killed every one of us, they didn't have enough time to even run across the map. There was only about 10 seconds left in the game, and the host lost connection. Now, it's not uncommon for people to leave in game battles when it's clear that they lost. You know, they don't want to hang out in the lobby again. And I get that. That's cool. We would be nice about it. Just say good game, but you know, some guys don't like to be there at the end. Anyway, these guys dropped the connection. They all left. It said that the host quit, and then they accused us of being the host, which we weren't. They were the host, and said that we purposely left the game, and they acted like they were going to dispute. So I sent them a couple messages, and it turned out one of the guys was fairly level-headed and said, you know, my teammates are all nerd raging. I apologize on their behalf. But yeah, we won our first game battles match. We're 1-0 this season, and we've already had a team try to deny that they lost. And you know, why we would quit the host when, you know, the game was so close to over that they didn't even have a chance to run off the map, then, you know, whatever. My suspicion what happened is that the host quit, you know, in that same scenario, and realizing that the game was over and that it was impossible to win, and then didn't admit to his teammates that he was the one that actually ended the game, and you know, his teammates just had this notion that it was us. But like I said, it was impossible for it to be us because they were hosts. They hosted both games, you know, whatever. So the first game was demo, and the second game was CTF, and we won both. So it was pretty cool. I'm excited to get you guys more. Look at that. Oh no, I walked off the edge of the map. I had a YouTube game and I walked off right off the edge. I had this notion that that there were more like, you know, little tarp things hanging off the side. Those I don't know what you call them, the nets. But oops. So I'm looking forward to playing more game battles this season. Game battles does two things. One, it provides some interesting games for you guys, and it gets some interesting footage because you're against good players. There's no shortage of games on YouTube where guys get, you know, 10-1 KDs like I'll pull in this game, or 15-1 if you're generous enough not to count the not to count me walking off the edge, but I did it. There are plenty of games like this on YouTube. There are fewer games that are really competitive, and sometimes we record our voices in game for you guys that are new, and those are really popular because you get to hear like the communication and the call outs and all the things that go into winning a game or, you know, losing a game if it comes to that. So our game battles team, we are I want to say that we're good. We're not great. You know, there are like MLG teams and guys like that who would just crush us, but we were 6-1 last season, so we'd like to play a whole lot more games this season. And when we've gotten started already with our first game. Game battles can be a little draining compared to pub matches. In pub matches, you just kind of laugh all night, and you know, if you're with a group like I'm playing with right now, then you tend to win a whole lot. In game battles, every inch is hard fought. Every team is, you know, about the same as us, and that's that. Right here, I didn't even know where Charlie was. I thought it was up top for some reason, but there must be something else up top, like a CTF point that I confused it with. Anyway, 31-3. One of those deaths was a suicide. Our game battles team is rolling again. This game seems to reward people whose success is based on getting on target really quickly, not so much based on people who, you know, predict enemy movements and spawns. And I'm working to enhance my game, so maybe it'll be a good thing. And plus, I heard they're going to fix the sound. I heard that on Twitter. So if that comes out, I'll love that.